What is going on YouTube? So this time around I'm gonna make a really easy recipe. So easy that I usually just do it when I'm watching TV. You can see that I am not dressed to go out and fight the day. So today we're gonna make applesauce. Applesauce is really easy to make. All you need is a bag of apples, and if you're feeling adventurous, some cinnamon. So the real brunt of the work here is going to be peeling the apples and then coring them. And I'm gonna show you it's actually not that hard. In fact, I'm gonna time myself so you can see just how long it takes for me to actually go through a whole bag of apples. So let's just do this and let's get started. So you're probably wondering what kind of apples I'm using. Well, when you make a sauce, it turns out it doesn't really matter what kind of apples you use in so much that they taste good. If you're baking with them or making pies, you need to pick apples that are a little bit firmer so that they hold their shape so you don't just have mush in your baked goods. But for a sauce, I'm gonna blend it up when I'm done so it doesn't actually matter. For this video, I'm using Macintosh apples because they come in really convenient bags, and I'm not a big fan of eating them out of hand for whatever reason, it's just my preference, so there was no risk of me going in the fridge and just devouring them all. You could also use Royal Gala apples, Empire apples, or Fuji apples. I think those taste really good and they're really sweet, but I tend to eat those out of hand so they don't last very long. If you're looking for a sauce that's not too sweet, you might consider throwing in a couple Granny Smith apples in there because those are pretty tart. As far as apples I wouldn't use, I probably wouldn't use Red Delicious because those are really only good for feeding horses and not really for eating. Okay, and that is it. So let's take a look at my timer. Yeah, it's probably not so bad. So here are my apples, fully done. And what I need to do now is I'm gonna add a little bit of cinnamon. So I'm gonna grab my spice grinder and 1 stick of cinnamon. So when I use cinnamon, I actually use the full like bark stick thing and I grind it up myself. If you don't have a spice grinder, you can buy pre-ground up cinnamon. I'm gonna use about maybe a teaspoon of freshly ground cinnamon. Maybe a little bit more, 2 teaspoons maybe. I'm also gonna add just a tiny bit of cider vinegar. It's gonna help it kind of break down while it's in the oven. So I'm not gonna add any more than 1 teaspoon. I'm just gonna mix that around just a little bit. You don't need to mix it too much because once it finishes baking, we're gonna blend it up anyway, so it's all gonna get mixed in the end. But this is it. We take this and I'm gonna throw this in the oven. It's gonna go in at 325 for about an hour and a half. So that's a really low temperature for a really long time, but it's gonna make it taste really sweet. So let's put that in and I'll show you what's done after that. Okay, so I have just taken this out of the oven and you can see that it looks really nice, really kind of brown, and if you could smell it, it smells so good. But all that's left to do now is to blend it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put together my blender and I'm just gonna slowly bring this together. So I got it all blended up and it looks really nice, but just like anything you cook, when you're done, you want to give it a small taste. And you know what, that's really good. I'm gonna put just a little bit more cinnamon in mine because that's how I like my applesauce. Tastes so good. But that's for my applesauce. You could put this in the fridge, keep it for probably 2 weeks or so, just eat it out of its bowl. Or you could take it and make some dishes with it, like maybe put it on some pork chops, which is really nice. Or if you're like me, you would go and you'd make some oatless oatmeal. Anyways, that's it for this. Nutritional information is somewhere here, I'm gonna hope. Maybe it's here. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.